Hey everyone! I feel like I have been neglecting you as my audience. I also feel like my lighting is bad, so let me see if I can get that a little bit better. Although I don't know that I can. I think it's as good as it gets. Okay, so I just wanted to do a quick technique video. I saw this card at an event that I went to a couple of weeks ago, put on by Allison Solvin and Angela McKay. So this is a case from one of them. I'm not sure which one because it was on a photo board. But what I wanted to show you is how to use a repeating image. So I don't know how many of you really like your images to be in straight line, matching, or you don't do those kinds of things because you're like, I can't get it lined up and I don't like how it looks. So in case you aren't aware, Stamping Up has a gadget, for lack of a better word, that will help you with that. And it is called the Stamp-a-ma-jig. So the Stamp-a-ma-jig comes as two pieces. One piece is this black plastic that has like a non-slip felt on the back. And the other piece is this acetate, perspex, plastic, whatever you want to call it. One side is shiny and one side is matte. Okay? And what you do is you use this jig and your block or stamp, if it's a wood stamp, to line up an image, or if you want a sentiment stamped, hey Kelly, stamped straight. So what I'm going to show you today is how we can get a repeating image and make sure it's always lined up. And the way we can do that is by using the Stamp-a-ma-jig. Okay. So I did not do very good math. So my card is a tiny bit smaller in case you're looking at it and thinking, I don't think that looks right. It's not quite right, but regardless, I've got fresh fig, I have old olive, and I have very vanilla. So what we are going to do is make sort of like our own DSP, or card front, whatever you want to call it, using the wine glasses, okay? And this is from the half full stamp set, which is in the Christmas catalog, but as you can see, not everything about it is Christmas. So it's a good one to get that you'll be able to use year round, especially if you have friends who like wine or you give wine as a hostess gift. All right. So the first thing we need to do is make our jig essentially, and we're going to do that by stamping on the plastic piece. Okay. So I've taken some crumb cake and I'm going to take our wine glasses. So I'm going to stamp those, and then you are essentially going to put them in a corner of the jig. So I'm basically going to put the corner of the block against the plastic piece and stamp on here. Can you see that? Okay, so now we know what our image looks like and we can place it on our piece of paper. So like I said, we've created for ourselves a jig. So now I'm going to take my piece of cardstock, my Very Vanilla, and I can line up exactly where I want those wine glasses to be. And hopefully it will be straight because I am terrible at that. Okay, so I want it to look like that. So now I am going to put the jig at the edge of the plastic piece because I know that's where it needs to be in order for these wine glasses to end up where I've put them. Now, the only tricky thing about where I have the jig right now is it is not on my cardstock. So I have to be very careful that when I lift this, I do not move my cardstock, because if I move my cardstock, there's nothing holding that in place. When we move to the next one, you will see that that's not an issue. So I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to stamp. And there are my wine glasses exactly how I wanted them. Now, I want to continue this pattern. So I need to line this up beside it where I want it to go. And that is going to work out perfectly. And now you'll see when I put this down, it is on my cardstock. So it's going to hold my cardstock in place. I'm going to take that away again. I'm going to re-stamp my image, put it in the jig, and stamp. Voila. Oh, I was a little bit off, but you can see how I've at least lined them up across. So now we can do a row below, and if you want, you could like go in and sort of alternate. So we'll do that just for fun. So I'm gonna go there, put that on, very carefully move this. Now I want this row to be fainter, so I'm going to stamp off and then stamp below. Yes, perfect. Okay, and then we want, so what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to kind of go over here and sort of slide across, because I am not very good, clearly, at lining up. I don't really want a half a glass. I'm trying to avoid that. But now I'm going to get a bigger space, but I'm going to go with that. Okay. Put our jig, take it off. Again, stamp, stamp off, put it down. Voila. So you can see now how I can do a, hey Teresa, a recurring pattern, and it is going to be straight, more or less, because I'm using the jig. So the jig is great when you want to do something like this, or if you just really find you have trouble lining up words and you're like, I want to make sure the word is going to be straight, and I'm terrible at that. So I am often terrible at that. So this would be another way to do that. So if we wanted to just show you what that looks like, I'm going to move that out of the way, and I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap, and what this is actually one of those wine tags, so this is going to be perfect. So let's pick a sentiment out of here. We have, may your glass always be half full, or we have the wine, the best wines are the ones we drink with friends, which I think is actually going to be too wide for this. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, so I want to make sure that this is going to go on straight. So I'm going to use the jig. So the beauty about the jig is if you have a project on the go, you don't have to necessarily clean this. I can just turn to a different corner, okay? So I'm gonna turn to a different corner, and I'm going to get our fresh fig, because that is just a nice kind of red wine color. And who doesn't love some red wine in the fall? I know I do. Okay, so same deal, stamp that on there. The best wines are the wines we drink with friends. Okay, so, right, like knowing me, I'd have this totally crooked. So if we really want to make sure it's going to be straight, then the jig is a perfect way to do that. So it's a handy little tool. I'm just going to stamp this wine bottle underneath it while we're at it, so that we have something on this tag. I'm going to have to do it crooked though, because it's too big. So what color should we do that in? Maybe the crumb cake? That seems kind of boring. Let's do perfect plum for fun. So before, you might think, well, why do we need the jig now that stamps are clear? And it's true. It is much easier to see the stamps and kind of get a sense of where they're going to be. But if you want to do a repeating image and you want it to line up, you want to have the jig. So this is going to allow me to make sure that this is straight. So again, so what we can do is put this here to make sure that's not going to move. We're going to do that. I'm going to use my fig again. And oh my God. Hello, can you tell I had a long day at work? And I'm going to stamp that upside down. Well, that clearly isn't going to work, but you get the idea. Oh my gosh, epic fail. All right, apologies, ladies. I have had a long day. Okay, long story short, the jig will help us do a repeating image, get it lined up, get it where we want it to be. So it's a handy little tool. So if you're one of those people that gets frustrated when your image is not perfect, or you were trying to repeat something, or you've seen cards where someone has repeated an image or a word, a sentiment, and you're like, oh, I really like how that looks, but I would never be able to get that straight, or you've tried and it didn't work, then this is the tool for you. Okay, Stamp-a-ma-jig. So I just wanted to quickly put that out there. I feel like I have been AWOL for a video for a while. Hopefully you understand that I work Monday to Wednesday, and when I get home I try to devote my time to my family. Thanks, Teresa. So that is why you don't generally see videos from me early in the week. Okay, that's better. So there we go. The Stamp-a-ma-jig. It's a neat tool to have, especially, like I said, if you want to line things up. I just want to remind everybody of the amazing deals that are starting October the 1st. So they're on my page. There's the DSP buy 3 get 1 free, and I've included the image so you can see all of the DSPs that are part of that. It's not every DSP, so you have to look and see which ones. But you buy 3, you get the 4th for free. So it's a great deal if you like to have different DSPs. You want to share it with a friend. If you live local and you want to share it with me, you just have to let me know. And then the other one is the World Card Making Day, right? So that is October 1st to 10th. That's where the note cards were on sale, 15% off. So the note cards are this size, 3 by 5, 3.5 by 5, 3.5 by 5. So they're perfect. Bigger than like the 3 by 3s, but smaller than a big card, and they're already all ready for you. You get 20 in a pack, so they are 15% off. And then there's all those stamp sets. I think there's like 8 or 10 stamp sets, and that sale is only for 10 days, October 1st to October the 10th. So you don't want to miss it if any of those stamp sets are on your list of ones to have. And like I said, that promotion can be used in my 4 for 40 party. So you just need to message me by the 30th of September. All right, short, sweet. I know we didn't make a full card, but I just wanted to show you this technique. And check out my page and my blog tomorrow, and you will see the finished card. Okay, Kelly is asking me what is my take on the fast fuse, because you're right, that is also in the card making deal. So you buy 1 and you get 2 refills. So this is my take on fast fuse. It has a bit of a learning curve, okay? Once you figure that out, it's very sticky. So for example, when I made this 3D card with the box, I use fast fuse. When I make these 3D crates, the wood crates, I use the fast fuse because I don't find the snail or any other kind of glue or adhesive is strong enough to keep these together. So the fast fuse is really good for 3D projects. But I do know some people who really like the fast fuse. They use it even instead of the snail. So I don't use it instead of the snail, again, because I think it's a little bit more money, but I will definitely be stocking up on this deal because it is great for the 3D projects, and it's good if you want an adhesive that you know is really going to stick. There is a bit of a trick to it, so let's use our piece of paper here that I've ruined for now. Well, no, let's not. Let's find something else. Let's use this. So when you are using the fast fuse, it's a check mark. I have found it's a check mark motion that you want to do. Hi, Dorothy. So you take your adhesive and then check. And when you do that check mark action, it gives you a nice, clean break. I find if you don't do that, it doesn't necessarily always break smoothly, and then sometimes it will gum up. Then you just have to roll it forward. It's not a big deal. It just, you have to roll your roll forward. But that's what I find sometimes happens. But I find it is very sticky, but it's clear, just like snail. It's just not as forgiving. Not that snail is super forgiving. You don't have lots of time to move things around. But yeah, certainly for that price, that deal, the refills for free, it's a really great deal. Try it out. I wouldn't say don't buy it. It's not any less user-friendly, but I find this trick, like I'm saying, of the check mark is helpful. And yeah, like I said, I'm definitely going to be buying some. I really like it for my 3D projects. So like I said, the crate and the box. I've used it for my curvy keepsakes, which was a great 3D thing they had, but it retired. And it's really good on anything that doesn't stick as well, so the glitter paper. And I also find sometimes when you emboss something, it doesn't stick as well, so you might want to use the fast fuse. But you certainly could use it in place of the snail, for sure. And at that price, I would definitely recommend picking some up instead of whatever you're normally using. And it's actually, you get a lot in here, so it goes a long way as well. But great question, Kelly. Okay, guys, that was it. It was quick. I know, short and sweet. We didn't actually make anything. Check out my blog or my page. Tomorrow, you will see the finished card using this stamp set. Please don't forget about all the deals and promos I've got going on. I know I have a lot, but there's so much great stuff out there. So be sure to message me if you're interested in any of those things. And there will be more videos to come in the next few days because now I have my days off and I can actually do some card making and get some stuff to throw out on a live video and put up on my blog. All right. Happy Wednesday. See you soon.